Welcome to Discover La Jolla, where we shine a light on the jewel of San Diego, La Jolla, California. I'm here with Eric Jenkins from the Estancia Hotel and Spa.
Hello.
Hi.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you so much, Eric, for coming on the podcast today. And we're very excited to learn more about you and your role over at the Estancia. So tell us, how did you get into what you're doing? You're the general manager. So tell us a little bit about your backstory.
Sure. Like most hoteliers, you accidentally find out that you're going to be a hotelier. So I went to college for finance and I got a job at a hotel. I was a server, just coming out of college, looking for my career, and just so happened that I loved doing what I was doing every single day. So then you get 100 promotions and you're sitting in a GM's chair. And my journey's been all the way through food and beverage. So I've always loved restaurants. I've always loved food and beverage. I think it's the personality of the hotel. I grew up on the East Coast. I'm from Savannah, Georgia.
Nice.
And I came out to sunny San Diego in 2015 to the Lowe's Coronado Bay Resort as a transfer. And I actually moved my wife and 4 kids here sight unseen.
Oh, wow.
She had never been to San Diego. Yeah. I'm like, I have a job opportunity in San Diego. She's like, well, I can't wait to move there. We have a reputation here, I guess.
Yeah. No, I mean, coming somewhere sight unseen, I mean, there's no better place than San Diego, especially working out of Coronado. I'm sure that was a great experience as well, coming from the East Coast there. And then how did you transition to Estancia?
So that's actually a fun story because I transferred in the year of 2020, which is like the greatest year ever. But the Lowe's Coronado Bay closed, as many hotels did. And so at the beginning of the year, I went home. And I have 4 sons, and I spent some months trying to figure out how to have them going to school on laptops all at the same time. And then I tried to, learn how to play the banjo or whatever. Like, I have no idea what's going on. And at some point, a connection from Lowe's called me and said, hey, look, I know you're sitting at home and I know that you'll eventually go back to Lowe's when it becomes normal, but right now I have a job opening at Estancia and you should come check out the property. They had not closed. They were, we are across the street from UCSD. There's all the medical stuff going on. They actually rented out a lot of space to do COVID tests. They were doing training and onboarding for COVID tests. So I went. I wanted to work. They had an opening. I think I might have been one of the only people hired at a hotel in the middle of 2020. Wow. I joined the team, and we had 44 team members. And I don't know if you remember this point, but when we were getting into the fall of 2020, like everyone in LA was driving here every weekend.
Yeah, I do remember that. We were like the hotspot because we were open.
Exactly.
Yeah, things are a little bit more open. I remember like we had the on-street dining and there was a little bit more to do.
Yeah. And if you've been to Estancia, we have a ton of outdoor space, about 25,000 square feet. So there's lots of places to do things outdoors. So we really were able to activate the hotel, but we only had 44 team members. So I joined that team. I learned how to run a laundry machine, how to cook on the grill, how to do the pool equipment. My goodness. And we were doing housekeeping in the morning.
All boots on the ground.
Yeah, it was pretty insane. And to put it in perspective, we have 265 team members now.
That's crazy.
So
it's like what?
A
Double,
lot
triple,
more.
Quadruple?
Yeah, we'd have to pull out a calculator. Those are huge numbers.
Yeah.
But,
well, that's such a feat to run a whole hotel and still stay open with just 44 staff members.
It was so challenging.
And at that time, what was your role at the hotel?
So I joined as director of operations, but the general manager, he left after 3 weeks of me being there. So I had no GM. I got to learn how to be a GM on the fly in a pandemic where the rules were changing every single day and we were just trying to figure out how to survive.
Yeah.
And fortunately, the ownership group had enough faith in me to, they kind of used me as a guinea pig for a couple of months and then they believed in me and gave me the opportunity. And it's a great ride. I'm really happy at that property. She's a gem.
Obviously, it worked out since you've been there since then, and it's 2024, and you've had such a long stint in the hospitality industry. But also going into more personally, like you work a lot with the community as well. So let's talk about that.
Sure. Ever since I've been here, I've been fortunate to be parts of a team where community involvement is important. So at Lowe's, We had huge events every year to support Donors Choose, where you can kind of pick and choose which projects that you get to support. We raised over $175,000 in my 5 years there to support the local community. And now I'm in a new community, so getting to learn and see La Jolla and how to best support that community. The way that we do it at our hotel is it's all team member driven. So we have a committee. You can join this committee, and we decide how to spend our volunteer time, where to put our donations, and once a quarter we do a big activation where we go out into the community. Like at the end of the year, it'll be the breast cancer walk, and so we raise money for that. Typically, our team likes to do a lot of things for animals. One great way that we can support the community is by donating room nights to any sort of galas or anything that are trying to sell things off and do a raffle. So we do a lot of that. And beach cleanups are great because we have so many beautiful beaches here.
Especially
and
being in La Jolla, too.
Yeah, our team loves getting out and doing that. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to continuing to learn the community of La Jolla and finding better ways to support. Great story about Estancia is our very first thing that ever happened 20 years ago, last month. So we opened in June of 2004, was a prom for a local high school. And we donated that to the community, and that was a good way to kick off the history of the hotel.
Yeah, no, it's a really great way to give back, and it's important, especially because you're a very prominent hotel and you have so much history to be involved in the local community. It's great not only for residents, but also for tourists coming in too, because I'm sure it gets the word out. Now, working in La Jolla, what's your favorite part of La Jolla? If you can pick one thing.
One thing. My favorite part of La Jolla is 1 block north of me because I can do it so easily. It's a 7-minute walk just north of Salk Institute, the glider port. I love walking right over there, catching a sunset at the end of a shift, or just walking out and seeing the ocean during my lunch break. And without getting into all the cool things, because it's such a great community and like so many great restaurants and trails, but that one's right by the hotel. So I do it quite a bit.
Have you done the paragliding over at the glider port?
I haven't done the paragliding, but I've gone down that cliff a few times, and I've regretted it every time.
No, it's a really great hike and a good walk.
Yeah.
And I know you were talking too a little bit earlier about how the hotel just went under a recent renovation.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So we started about 1.5 years ago. The ownership decided to invest $26 million into the property.
It's a crazy amount.
Yeah, and she was a pretty hotel before.
Gorgeous.
But they did a full rooms renovation, including a tub to shower conversion in the bathrooms, full upgrade. The room design has a lot of drawbacks to our equestrian history. So before it was a hotel, it actually used to be an equestrian training facility owned by the Blacks family. Yeah, it's rich in history. And you've got touches of leather, but it's still a really residential feel. The room product is fantastic. And so after we finished the rooms, we headed into the public space, and this is the best part of the hotel. So we did 3 things that I'm really in love with. The first is the lobby. In the lobby, we added a lobby bar, which our lobby did not have a lobby bar for 20 years. Like, how do you have a hotel without a lobby bar? We figured it out. But what a great addition to the property. It's really now the heartbeat of the hotel. Great cocktail menu there. Great outdoor seating with fire pits. A really cool place to hang out. And then the pool product is fantastic. We put over $10 million into the pool. So you have 9 new VIP cabana experiences. We have 4 new guest rooms that have cabanas attached to them instead of patios and have direct access to the pool. Very nice rooms. We added a restaurant, so there's a kitchen and a brand new bar built out there. So full food and beverage experience, still the same heated saltwater pool right adjacent to the spa, but everything has been elevated out there. It's really cool. But to nerd out a little bit, my favorite thing that we did is we added a butterfly garden and apiary.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. How many hotels have a butterfly garden?
I don't know. I know of one for sure.
That's very cool.
So right now, if you go to the property, you'll see monarch butterflies flitting all around the property because we've designed a garden just to house them on their multi-generational migratory path. Wow. And then we have 100,000 honeybees working really hard on property too. So we harvest that honey. Cool. We use it in the food and beverage offerings on property. And we actually even make soap, lip balm, and candles out of the wax when we harvest.
Gosh, that is such a fun fact.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. And if someone wants to check out Estancia, learn a little bit more about the property and about you, where can they get in touch?
Well, the best thing to do is to go to estancialajolla.com. I recommend everybody follow our Instagram because there's great content on there. And if you just want to try it out and not do a staycation, but just come see the great pool, you can go to Resort Pass and get a cabana for the day and come out and enjoy the pool experience as well. Don't forget, we have an amazing spa. So if you need a little downtime and relaxation, unwind a little bit, it's open to locals and hotel guests.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Eric, for coming on.
Thank
it was
you.
such a pleasure.